So here's a question I'm sure anybody would probably be asking, when it comes to any anime. And I know that lately a lot of anime that's been bitten by this bug or acquired to, be taking a chance on in this kind of area has not done so well. There have been a few exceptions, but most of the time it's been more miss than hit. But if there is one anime I think could be done justice, and could be done, and that's a notification if you heard something that I do apologize. But if there's one anime and manga that I truly believe can be done right, can be done in a way that basically gives respect to the source material, that anime and manga, I believe, has to be Yu-Gi-Oh! And what I'm talking about is the potential of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Live action movie. Now, I know people have come up here on YouTube and have put on trailers using commercial footage and whatever to tease the fact of, oh, there is one coming and all that. But those trailers are always are tremendously fan made, very well crafted, if you will, but they're not official. They're just like, concepts basically of what could be, here and there. What could be here, what could be there, stuff like that. But when I look at something like a live action Yu-Gi-Oh movie, like I said, I look at a movie under the right circumstances that could be true to the source material. Not just true to what, the card game, in a sense, is about, like when it comes to certain cards being played and stuff. But I'm talking the fact of, what made, the anime, what made the manga very popular among the fans. And of course, I'm talking about things like, let's say, using a dual disc to compete. We all know that basically they've been developing, cosplay versions of these things to celebrate the anniversary of the franchise. So imagine if they could get a movie prop version of it, or basically a movie version of it, brought to life. Imagine how fans would react to that, and the money Konami could sell off of that if they were to do something like that in the future. But when I look at a Yu-Gi-Oh movie, a live action movie as well, I look at one that I feel not only could be true to the source material, but I look at one that could definitely do things that the anime here in the US, the dubbed version, could not do. And even to an extent the Japanese version could not do. Because when you look at live action films, based on anything, they're able to go in directions and do things that, the comics would allude to, or the animated or live action show has hinted at and alluded to being a possibility. The movie would be able to do it. And with a live action Yu-Gi-Oh movie, I could see them going in the directions, going in the directions and doing the things that normally you wouldn't be able to see in the anime, or even, to an extent, basically the anime, and to an extent the original, the Japanese version, basically, of said anime. That's what I was trying to get at. You wouldn't be able to see this stuff in any one of those areas. But to me, a live action film could open the door for it, is what I'm trying to get at. And I was getting distracted there. The train was going on outside on the train tracks, and dogs were howling. I do apologize. But like I said, I look at the fact that a Yu-Gi-Oh anime, not Yu-Gi-Oh anime, but a Yu-Gi-Oh live action film could really work. Now, like I said at the beginning, you look at recent history, and a lot of people say, well, anime has not really benefited very well when it comes to being adapted into live action. They've been, rarely successful in that area. Well, there is an anime that was adapted into live action that was a success. and I thought was succeeded very well. And that, of course, is Alita, Battle Angel. And I thought they did a tremendous job here. They did a tremendous job. James Cameron followed basically the story to a T. He followed it to a T. So I believe in the right hands, a live-action Yu-Gi-Oh movie could work. There is no getting around that. And the story itself, especially the story that gets presented in the anime, in the manga, depending on what version of the anime you watch, depending on what is essentially the same manga just translated that you read. The story about Yugi housing in this Millennium item the spirit of an ancient pharaoh who's trying to remember his past, trying to get his memories back so he can figure out how he could be at peace again, how he could basically, find the truth to what happened in his previous life and why he's in this situation and stuff like that. That to me is an opportunity waiting to be explored by the right people. So basically, with the story itself, pretty much, a perfect, I guess you could say, smorgasbord of opportunity to be looked at. Getting the right people behind the movie would be the next big thing. Because again, the fact that you could, from a merchandise standpoint, you could sell movie versions of the dual disc. From a movie perspective, you could sell movie versions of re-releases of cards, of monster cards and spell cards and decks and all that. The fact that you could sell, a cosplay costume for Halloween or conventions and everything. The merchandise-wise, the opportunity is there. Special effects-wise, like CGI and all that, opportunity is there. And mostly, the story is a smorgasbord of opportunities to be explored by whoever would be able to, whoever I should say would be able to do a Yu-Gi-Oh movie justice, a live-action one that is. And can it be done? Absolutely. Absolutely. The question then, though, would be who would you get? Who would you get to come on board to play the characters? And that's a good question. To me, I think what you have to go with is a virtual unknown. And what I mean by that, I should say, is by going with the virtual unknown, go with somebody that you could look at and say, that's Yugi, that's Taya, that's Mai, that's Joey, that's Tristan, that's Kaiba. Go in that direction, and I guarantee, it'll help make the movie a success, no matter what the circumstance. It'll make it a moderate success, no matter what the circumstance. Because again, the story arc, right there of, an ancient spirit trying to figure out his past, trapped within this puzzle that allows him to basically bond with the person wearing it, who's essentially his own descendant to an extent. Again, the story is written out and ready for whoever would want to tackle a project like this to, take it and make it into something special. Because if there's one thing, let's say James Cameron has proven with something like Alita Battle Angel, is it can be done, and it can stay faithful most of the time to the original source material if basically given and put into the hands of the right people, and not be put into the hands of people that just want to, add, some kind of credibility to the resume. I'm looking at you, Netflix, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I think a Yu-Gi-Oh! Live-action movie could work. I really do. I think it could work. I think people would be happy with it when it would become, what I'm trying to say is, I think people would be happy with it when it's all said and done. And to me, everything is set and ready to go. Everything is set and ready to go. Not just from a, merchandise standpoint when it comes to the movie that, you know, they could sell the, you know, movie replicas, toy replicas of the dual disc and all that, as well as re-release movie versions of, let's say, the cards. But again, the cosplay, the costume, if you will, you know, other clothing and merchandise and other merchandise ideas out there that are presentable. And, you know, on top of that, the story itself. The story is a perfect smorgasbord, a perfect, you know, diving on point for whoever they would get to do this. Or jumping on point for whoever they would get to do this. And again, you know, one thing about these kind of movies is the special effects are always one of the reasons people go and see it and help it become a blockbuster. You can't tell me, they look at what the anime and the manga has brought to the table, and you can't tell me they'd be like, yeah, we want to put that on the big screen in live action form and CGI form and give it the best treatment ever, or the best treatment of any kind of any, you know, software available to them at that time that would allow them to do it. And again, the other thing as well is the fact that you have an opportunity to go and do what, you know, both versions of the anime are, you know, are limited in doing. The Japanese one, not so much, but the, you know, the dub one, yes. But you get what I'm saying. Like, be able to do things that you see in the manga, you know, now you'd be able to get away with somewhat in a live action film. But what are you guys' thoughts? How do you feel about the possibility that, you know, we could down the line get an anime, you know, not an anime, but a live action adaptation of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, mostly the original? What are your thoughts? You know, comment down below, live chat during the premiere, like the video, check out me out at Teespring, at the Teespring store, my store that is. Check me out at BW Rose's Discussions on all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora. Also check me out at BW Roses on VENMO, as well as check me out at patreon.com/BW Roses and at Venmo at Brian-Walmer-2. But again, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Again, everything to me is right, is right there, ready to go. The story, the story element, if you will, you know, the merchandise opportunity in front of them, you know, for the studio and, you know, and Konami and all of them, it's right there in front of them. You know, like I said, the story element, the people that love to do special effects, CGI, if you will, you know, it's right in front of them as well. You know, and you know and basically, you know, the opportunity to give virtual unknowns an opportunity to shine and basically become the characters that they would be representing. You know, to me, everything is there, right for the picking, smorgasbord ready to be looked at and appetized on and ate on. To me, the opportunity to make something like this happen, you know, make something like this happen, I should say, is right for the picking, right for the, you know, pre-production working and all that. It's basically the timing for something like this to probably go down, you know, and become a reality, you know, is now. And there's no getting around that. And like I said, Alita Battle Angel has proven it can be done right, especially under the right person, and not just, you know, done for, basically, you know, pampering, building and pampering your resume and all that. So, but anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. I apologize if I rambled a little bit. I'm a little tired. Of course, I've been talking a lot, and of course, I'm trying to get this done before my mom gets home from the gas station, because that's what she just called me from a little bit ago. But let me know what your thoughts are, and I will talk to you later.